Yes, tonight I'm going to repeat on particular items which I have explained earlier. I'm sure you have forgotten many of those important aspects. Why do we pay respect or pay homage or worship the Buddha? Because the Buddha has never said he is the one who created this world. He has never said that he will punish you for all your sins committed by you. He has never said he will reward you for all the good deeds that you have done. He has never said that he can forgive your sins if you pray and worship him. Then why do you worship him? For what purpose? What do you gain? But you worship him. But the followers of all the other religions in this world do worship to their religious teacher or the founder because of these things. They believe the world or the living beings are created by their God or their teacher. And their teachers can forgive their sins if they pray. And he is the one who punishes for all our bad deeds. He is the one who rewards us. Therefore they worship. Then why do you worship him? What do you gain? Any answer? And did he ask you to worship him? No. But he has said one thing. Take refuge in the Buddha. That is for your protection, guidance, to gain inspirations, confidence, only for that purpose. When you pay homage or worship, you recite certain verses. In the Pali language, you recite Itipi So Bhagava. So Bhagava. This Buddha. Bhagava means Buddha. So Bhagava. This Buddha. Then explain 9 great virtues or the characteristic, good qualities of this great religious teacher. Amongst various great qualities, here we have selected only 9 characteristics. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijjacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarathi Sattha Deva Manussanang Buddho Bhagava. 9. When you analyze and try to understand the real meaning of these words and the virtues, the qualities of the Buddha, then you can understand whether it is worthwhile for us to worship him. Although he has never said that he is the savior, he is the creator, you can forget about all those things. Because amongst those saviors and creators and great teachers, you cannot find all these great qualities and virtues and wisdom. No doubt they have certain powers. Now let us take one by one. You introduce the Buddha as Arahant. And certain disciples who have attained sainthood, Arahanthood, also use the same word, Arahant. That means one of the qualities of the Buddha. Arahant is one of the qualities, but Arahanta's disciples possess only that much. And here there are so many others in the case of the Buddha. So what does it mean? What is the meaning of this word, Arahant? One who has eradicated all his mental impurities or mental defilements or wrong belief or ideas. One meaning. So that person is called Arahant. One who is worthy of respect, worthy of offering, because he is pure, holy, perfect. Perfect means never make mistake, never commit evil. In that sense, Arahant is perfect. Then, Arahang papang nakaraye. Another good qualities of an Arahant is he never commit any mistakes or wrong deeds, even secretly. Many people, religious people, cultured people, educated people also sometimes make mistakes secretly. But Arahantas never make any mistake, even secretly. That means no secret for them. Now we can understand the meaning of Arahant. First meaning, one who has purified his mind by eradicating mental impurities. He is perfect. One who is worthy of respect because he is holy. One who never make any mistake, even secretly. These are the qualities of an Arahant. So this is the first virtues or the characteristic of the Buddha. Therefore we respect him. I have no time to give details because there are 9 virtues for me to explain. Next one is Samma Sambuddho. Buddha and Samma Sambuddha. Buddha is enlightened or awakened one. Samma Sambuddha means supreme enlightened one. Supreme enlightened one means one who gained his enlightenment by using his own effort, self-enlightenment. There is no inspirations or guidance or teachings given by another teacher or divine power. Self-enlightenment by using his own effort and knowledge and understanding. Then, analytical knowledge of the Four Noble Truths. This is a very difficult thing. These four words, dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, magga. Very simple word. But when we analyze, to gain realization is not an easy task. Now we have knowledge, we know, but no realization. If realizations appeared in our mind, we never behave like this. We have lot of secrets, weaknesses, and impurities in our mind. No one can hide, because realizations of Four Noble Truths not yet appear in the mind. So one day, when we realized perfectly the real nature of Four Noble Truths, we will become entirely different type of human beings. Not like this. Today we have so many types of worries, problems, disturbances, and impurities in our mind. If the realizations of these four items are there, we never maintain worries, miseries, disturbances, unhappiness. All our problems are based on this lack of understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, magga or marga. Let me explain again. What is dukkha? Clashes, friction, calamities, imbalance, disagreement. When certain elements and energies combine together and shape up, creating some sort of formation, visible or tangible object. In that object, we can see all these friction, clashes, imbalance, disagreement. Our body is the combinations of those elements and energies. So friction, clashes, disagreements, imbalance. We experience unhappiness, pain, unsatisfactoriness. That is called dukkha. So can we analyze in this way? See how ignorant we are. We try to interpret all our problems, sufferings are due to influence of devils or God or ghost, if not due to certain original sins committed by us. It is ignorance. But we have no knowledge to analyze and understand why we are facing all these problems. We go on wasting money, wasting our time for all these things, thinking about charms and black magic and devils and ghosts and this and that. But how many people try to analyze and understand why these problems are there? And now you can understand, it is not an easy task to understand the nature of Four Noble Truths. Then, second item is more difficult. Samudaya. The cause. Why these frictions, clashes, calamities take place? Why do we experience uneasiness, unhappiness, disappointment? Why do we complain and grumble and accuse? Why do we hate when we are unhappy? Why can't we find out where the mistake is? What is the cause? Who is responsible? We never try to do that. What is the cause? The cause is nothing but our own craving. Do we know that? If there is no craving, we never take this as pain, sufferings, uneasiness, unhappiness. Because of our craving, we analyze in this way. Again, we maintain all these elements and energies because of our craving. We crave for that, we like that formation, we like this existence, craving is behind. Can we analyze in this way? You want to crave, but you are not ready to experience suffering. If you really want to enjoy your life, if you crave for your pleasure, if you crave for your existence, you also must prepare to face consequences. Consequences mean suffering. Why suffering? Because of friction. This is scientific, and this is the way how the Buddha has realized and explained, without referring to any god or any devil. They have nothing to do with this. That is the cause. We are ignorant. Although we are educated, we think we are intelligent, we think we know. But when we analyze, we know next to nothing, that's all. Our knowledge is that much. We know, but next to nothing. Then, we do not know why we are here, for what purpose. Do you know why you are here? Sent by God, isn't it? That's all, that is the only answer. You have everything. You have property, house, land, jobs, good salary, good wife, good husband, good children. But you cannot satisfy. Why? Then where is the mystery? What is the secret? Why you always grumble? That is called ignorance. You do not know how to maintain cheerfulness, happiness, satisfaction in your life. You are used to grumble, accuse, criticize, condemn. But we can adjust our way of life. Although there are problems and calamities and suffering, but be cheerful. You can maintain this if this understanding is there in your mind. Nirodha. The bliss, the freedom, the happiness, relief, liberation we experience by realizing the real nature of friction, dukkha and the cause. We realize. After that we never worry about that. We know how to control, we know how to maintain, we know how to overcome, we know how to get rid of them by knowing this. That is called Nirodha. Bliss, satisfaction, peace, happiness, complete liberation. Third one. Last one is Magga or Marga or method. What to do? What to believe? What to practice? By knowing the correct method, then we adjust our way of life. After that we will be free from all these problems that we are facing today. So that correct method is called Eight Noble Path. When the Buddha was asked, which is the correct or true religion in this world? The only answer the Buddha gave is this. If you can find Eight Noble Paths in any religion, accept that religion as a true religion. He did not say Buddhism is the only true religion. If you can find Eight Noble Paths in Christianity, Islam, Hinduism or any other religion, you also can accept. If the same method, if you can find it. Realizations of these four. By using this analytical knowledge and understanding, when a person gains enlightenment, that person is called Samma Sambuddha. Second characteristic. Vidya Charana Sampanno, third one. This is a very big item. Vidya and Charana, there are two words. There are 8 Vidyas. Charana, there are 15. All are good qualities. You see, these two words, Vidya and Charana, in simple language, in brief, I can tell you, the meaning is knowledge and conduct. These two things very seldom go together in one person. There are so many religious teachers. There were so many great philosophers, psychologists, thinkers, brilliant scholars in this world. Try to understand their knowledge and their conduct. These two things very difficult to get together in their way of life. If they have excellent knowledge, wisdom, understanding, there are certain defects, certain weaknesses in their character, in their way of life. Even those religious teachers who have founded religions, they had wonderful knowledge. Study their way of life from the very beginning up to the end. Their jealousy, their anger, cruelty, violence, bloodshed. You can see when you read history. On the other hand, there are very innocent, harmless, noble religious teachers. When you study their knowledge, wisdom, you can see certain concept, certain idea, certain method introduced by them are not appealing to the intellectuals today. Now you can understand moral conduct and knowledge. These two things are very difficult to get together in one person. Just like cleverness and goodness, very difficult to find in one person. Clever man cannot become a good man. Clever man means a cunning man. A good man cannot become a clever man. A good man is a lazy man. It is true. Very slow, not active, passive. Good man is a passive man. Clever man is very active, very energetic, very intelligent, but very cunning, very selfish. But can you find these two in one man? Cannot. In the same way, knowledge and conduct, these two qualities is very difficult for us to find in one religious teacher. So in the case of the Buddha, you can study his life from his childhood up to his parinibbana or passing away. Whether he has made any mistake, whether he has shown his anger or jealousy or grudge or ill will, whether he has violated anything, violence or bloodshed, whether he discriminated others, you cannot find. If not, can you find out even one word uttered by this religious teacher to disturb others, to hurt others' feelings? Many others, the word curse is not a sweet word come out from a religious man. Why it is necessary to curse? If that person is a powerful religious teacher, why it is necessary to curse? Without cursing, he can correct. Then what are these? Just now I mentioned 8 Vidya, knowledge. Then 15, Charana, conduct. So when you recite these 9 characteristics, do you consider all the great qualities of the Buddha? That he possessed all the good qualities? Because I'm trying to tell you, for you to understand, why do you worship him? Is it worthwhile when you realize the real qualities, virtues, knowledge, wisdom, conduct, attitude of the Buddha? Then you can understand why we worship. Knowledge, 8 kind of knowledge. Vipassana jnana manoma iddhi pabedo picha dibbha sotang paraksa ceto pariyaya jnanang pubbhe nivasanussat gatam ca jnanang dibbang cicakhaso sankhayanti etani jnanani imani atta. Vipassana jnana, one kind of knowledge. Through vipassana meditation, when a person developed his insight, hidden intellect, by cultivating, developing that natural and instinct. By nature, that is why everybody says we have Buddha seed, Buddha nature. It is not an extraordinary seed, potentials. All of us have this Buddha nature. That means if we really want, one day we can become a Buddha, all of us, no restriction. That is called Buddha nature or the Buddha seed. So we have to cultivate, because all the good qualities, potentials, eclipsed, covered, polluted. So we cannot make use of them. In our day-to-day life, according to our way of thinking, talking, doing things, every day we are going on polluting and polluting and polluting the Buddha nature or the Buddha seed or the qualities. So when we practice this and develop, then again we try to bring up, develop. There is nothing for us to bring from outside. No divine inspiration, and a guru or teacher also cannot give us anything. He can guide us how to do that, that's all. He cannot give us anything. That is our own inner development. Vipassana jnana, one quality of that jnana. Then the second one is Manomaya Iddhi. Manomaya Iddhi means miracle. Mana means mind. Miracles created by the mind. What is it? When you study the Mahayana interpretations of 3 bodies of the Buddha, Rupakaya, Nirmanakaya, Dharmakaya, 3 bodies of the Buddha. Nirmanakaya, creative body. Creative body means the person who can transform himself and appear and disappear wherever he likes, either in this world or any other world system, by using that mental energy and enlightenment. The Buddha can do that. The Buddha can, now we have heard, the Buddha wanted to go and preach the Dhamma to his mother, because mother died 7 days after giving birth. So all the others who were on this earth were benefited. His father and former wife and child, wife and brothers and all of them. So he thought, why not I go and do some service to my mother also? So the mother was a deva at that time. Rebirth has taken. See, the Buddha has gone to this particular heaven, Devaloka, and spent his time for 3 months to preach Abhidhamma to his own mother. The real interpretations of appearance there, that creative body, Manomaya Iddhi, the mind create that vision, appearance of the Buddha in that particular place. Is not the physical body gone there. He can appear in any part of the world by using that mental energy and enlightenment. That is called Manomaya Iddhi. And the next one, Iddhi-Vidya Jnana, to perform any kinds of miracles. When you study, you can see how many kinds of miracles he has performed. There are many stories, but very seldom he performed these miracles, because simply by showing miraculous power, no one can gain realization, understanding. For curiosity's sake, they follow or accept. So Buddha did not encourage this. But when he come to know, by preaching at the beginning, it is difficult to enlighten certain people. To train this mind at the beginning, he performed certain miracles. To develop devotion, faith, after that he preached. So when he preached, then easily understanding or realization appear in their mind. There are many stories. So there is no difficulty whatsoever for him to perform any kind of miracle. But he did not concentrate, he did not encourage even his disciples to perform many of those miracles, because to him realizations, knowledge, wisdom, purity are more important than miraculous power. Then Dibba Sota Jnana. Sota means hearing. Many things that we cannot hear, we call divine ears, in simple language. Divine eyes and divine ears. There is a story you might have read in Dhammapada. He heard the voice of an insect. This insect was hiding under an old robe of a monk. So the Buddha heard that this insect was crying there. Can we hear this sound? That means in the sound vibration, he can, to catch the sound vibration, he can attune the ear, just like a radio set, to catch the wavelength, even from heaven or hell or any part of the world in this universe. He can adjust and can hear anything. That is called Dibba Sota, divine ears. This is the result of the effort he made life after life by cultivating his mind. We won't get this at once. You understand? How many times during his previous birth he had to gain and develop, cultivate, improve his knowledge, his mind. In the end he gained. He got all these extraordinary characteristic, virtues, powers, not given to him by anybody. Then, Parachitta Vijnana Jnana, to understand others' mind. It is not necessary for people to come and tell him. As soon as they create the idea, the thoughts in their mind, he can read. Why his teachings is very effective. Why people can grasp, can understand easily. Why they attain sainthood or arahanthood on the spot so easily. Because of this. The reason is, when he preached directly toward that person's mind. Not necessary to talk too much. But when we preach, we do not know what they really want to know. We do not know whether they can understand what we talk. So he can understand what others think. There is a story. King Kosala, his wife was a very devout lady. She has done only one mistake in her life, according to her memory. But she had to worry a lot. She was thinking what to do. Very pious and religious lady. The king was not a very intelligent man. So after her death, the king wanted to know where her rebirth has taken place. So he went to see the Buddha to ask this. Then the Buddha knew the king came to ask this question. By knowing that he is not an intelligent man, the Buddha willed for him to forget this question. So he completely forget. Next day also he went to ask the same question. That day also forgot. 7 days he went to ask this question. Forgot. Next day he was completely released from this place, and again rebirth has taken place in a very favorable state. So on the 8th day, the king asked, where is my queen? Now, then the Buddha said, she is in one of the Devalok. If the Buddha said that she is in a suffering state, that foolish king may destroy whole Buddhism in that country. My wife who had dedicated whole life for Buddhist activity, and you say he is suffering there, go to hell with your religion. He destroyed the whole, what you call Buddhist religion and temples and monasteries. He is in a suffering state. That foolish king may destroy whole Buddhism in that country. My wife who had dedicated whole life for Buddhist activity, and you say he is suffering there, go to hell with your religion. He destroyed the whole, what you call Buddhist religion and temples and monasteries. He is a king. By knowing this weakness, the Buddha, you see, that is called knowing others' way of thinking, the mind, how to adapt, how to adjust. Because simply by preaching, no one can convince the king. So no problem. Then, Ubbe Nivasanasati Jnana, the knowledge to recall where we were during our previous birth. Of course, that is very simple knowledge for him. Although it's a very big thing for us. He has revealed more than 500, not only one. Dibbya Chakku, just now I mentioned, divine eyes, can see the whole universe. If you really want to know, by focusing his enlightenment through his eye organ, he can see anything in this universe. That is called Dibbya Chakku or divine eyes. Asavakkhaya Jnana, that means eradications of all the defilements from the mind. Usually we talk about main evil forces like craving, hatred, ignorance. But there are thousands of minor mental impurities. But these three things are responsible to create all the other minor mental impurities. In his case, we cannot find even any of those mental impurities or defilements in his mind, completely wiped out, eradicated. This is the nature of enlightenment. These are the 8 kinds of knowledge under this item, Vijja. Then come to 15 items of Charana. This is not a joke. Now you can understand why we bow down and worship him. What a great man. (9:15). I can mention only the list, no time to explain. 15 kind of moral conduct, the nature of his life. Many others also maintain, but not up to that maximum level. So these 15 kinds of virtues or moral conducts, like moral restraint, that means behavior, character, temperament, attitude, moods and way of life. When you analyze, you cannot find any defect, any weakness in his character. That is why he is called fully enlightened, perfect religious stage. The next one is watching over the senses. How he calmed control, discipline his senses. Although we try to control our senses, sometimes go out of control. We cannot control it. But in his case, all the senses were under control, maintained the same calmness and discipline without violating anything. Then moderations of eating. Now this is very important. Doctors also advise for us not to take heavy meals, especially at night time. The Buddha always advised his followers not to take full stomach and not to be greedy towards our food. You should not eat until you get fed up with your food. After eating and eating, you say, now cannot eat any more food and up to here. Then we stop. Only up to here. That is not the way. Can eat some more then stop. Then you give chance for your stomach also to relax. And not a big burden to your heart. That is for health reason. Here we are not talking about health reason. Not to be greedy. Have some sort of contentment. This is one of the characteristics of the Buddha and the disciple. Then watchfulness. Watchfulness of the mind, watchfulness of the word and action. In every thought there is mindfulness. Concentrate, analyze. What are the thoughts which appear in the mind? Of course, in the case of the Buddha, evil thoughts never appear. Because no greed, no hatred, no ignorance, therefore evil thought never appears. But awareness of the thought is there. That is not for his precautions or protection, but to know. And other disciples also. Then the word that he uttered, always gentle, noble, and without hurting or disturbing others' feeling. Action, whatever he performs, he does everything very gently without disturbing others. Then faith. Of course, it is not necessary to explain the nature of faith or confidence he had in his mind. Unshakable and very solid, and whatever determination he had, he developed this life after life until he gained his enlightenment. That faith, that confidence, he never gave up. In spite of various disturbances, challenges and threats, he never surrendered these qualities. Moral shame and moral fear. Shame and fear, there is a normal way. But moral shame and moral fear mean, by considering that this way of life, way of doing things, disgrace, insult our dignity, our name. Therefore they think it is shameful thing for a gentleman, for a religious man, for a noble man to commit this kind of either immoral or cruel or harmful thing. That is called moral shame. Moral fear. By considering the danger, the cruelty or the sufferings that we create by committing such a bad thing, we develop some sort of fear. Fear arises in our mind when you consider how they suffer because of our action. That type of fear. That is called moral shame and moral fear. The way how they analyze shame and fear. Then great learning. Here learning does not mean like studying. Development of his mind through experience. That is called great learning. He learned everything according to his own experience. Analyzing, understanding. These are the channels he used to gain his learning. In the first Dhammacakka Sutra, that's why he says, Chakkhum udapadi, jnanam udapadi, panya udapadi, vidya udapadi, aloko udapadi. These 5 words are there. Here jnana, knowledge, understanding, realization appear. So we cannot say that there is anything in this universe that the Buddha cannot understand. We cannot say. This is the nature of his learning or his knowledge or understanding. Then, energy. What sort of energy he had? Mental energy, physical energy, both. When he sat down under the Bodhi tree for gaining his enlightenment, after struggling for 6 years, he determined not to get up from this seat until he gained his enlightenment. It is far better for me to die here under this tree rather than going away without gaining enlightenment. So he used his full effort until he gained his enlightenment. So under any circumstance, in spite of various sufferings, he did not surrender, he did not give up his method until he gained his enlightenment. After gaining his enlightenment again, he used his full effort for 45 years, even without sleeping, to serve others, to enlighten others. So the Buddha was not a lazy man who sleeps inside the sand room all day and night. That is our Buddha, not Sakyamuni Buddha, who sleep always. I don't know why people like to worship sleeping Buddha. That I cannot understand. The Buddha is the most active, energetic religious teacher in this world. But people like to worship sleeping Buddhas. Then, next one. Mindfulness. His mind never works on 2 objects at a time. Only 1 object at a time. That is called mindfulness. But the trouble with us when we are going to do something, our mind goes here and there and we make mistake. So the mindfulness is the initial stage for us to develop for our meditation. Without mindfulness, developing this mindfulness, we cannot go further. That means that taming this mind. When the mind becomes very obedient, then very easy for us to continue our knowledge or meditations or studies or understanding. So the mindfulness in his case is very pure and no disturbances, no conflicts, always one line, very pure. Then wisdom. Here wisdom means supreme wisdom. What is Buddhist wisdom? Is there any difference between wisdom and Buddhist wisdom? Yes, there is. When we gain knowledge, intellect, very deep thinking, understanding, we analyze this as wisdom. Yes, it is wisdom. But that wisdom is not accurate, not perfect, because mind is not pure. We never gain Buddhist wisdom unless and until we perfect or eradicate all these defilements from the mind. If there is selfishness in the mind, there is no wisdom. If there is fear in that mind, there is no wisdom. If there is anger in that mind, there is no wisdom. If there is ignorance in that mind, there is no wisdom. So the Buddhist wisdom means when the mind is completely free from all these dirts, the real wisdom is there. Now we can see the difference between Buddhist wisdom and any other kind of wisdom. Then, 4 kinds of jhana. Pratama jhana, Dutiya jhana, Tatiya jhana, Chaturtha jhana. Absorption, jhana. Through meditation, samatha meditation, people develop their mind. So when they attain the 4th jhana, then they get the power to perform some miracles, miraculous power. So when he was a small boy, the father has taken him to paddy field. There was a festival in the paddy field. So when they were doing their field work, what you call paddy fields work, plowing festival, and this small boy started to meditate, and he developed up to the 4th jhana and gone up like a bird, perform miracles when he was a small boy. So he developed this jhana even when he was a small boy, because this is due to his previous experience, not developed within that lifetime suddenly. So these are the 15 kind of moral conduct. 9:30. Explain only Arahang, Samma Sambuddho, Vijjacharana Sampanno. Only 3 items among those 9. Then you can understand to whom we are paying homage, whether worthwhile, whether he is holy or perfect, why we respect him. Okay, I think better to stop here. We will continue next Friday. Remember, only 3 items. Akagattha Jabummattha Deva Naga Mahiddhika Punyantang Anumodittva Chirang Rakkhantu Loka Sasanam อิตตาวตาจามเหหิสัมปตังปุญญสัมปตังสัพเพเทวานุโมดันตุสัพพสัมปัตติสิทธิยาเดโววัสตุกาเลนะสัสสะสัมปัตติเหตุเจปิโตภาวตุโลกโคเจราจาภาวตุธัมมิโกอิดังโกญาตินังโหตุสุขิตาหุนตุญาตโยอิมินาปุญญคัมเมนะมามิบาลสมากโมสัตังสมากโมโหตุยาวนิบานปัตติยา
ภาริตวานะเมตังสเมตาภะทันตาอวิคิตาจิตาภริตังภะนันตุสักเคกาเมจะรูเปกิลิสิขละตะเตจันตาลิเควิมาเนทิเตละเทจะคาเมตรุวนาคหะเนเคหะวัตุมหิเขเตอุมมาจยันตุเทวาชระทลวิสเมยาคะคันทัพนาคาติทันตาสันติเกยังมุนิวะวัจนังสาทโวเมสุนันตุธรรมสวนากาโลหยัมภะทันตาธรรมสวนากาโลหยัมภะทันตาธรรมสวนากาโลอายัมภะทันตานะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยมปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยมปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยมปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิโยจักขุมาโมหมัลลาปะกัตโตสัมมังวะพุทโธสุขโตวิมุตโตมาลัสสะปัสสาวินิโมจยันโตปะเตสิเกมังชนะตังเวนัยยังพุทธังวรันตังสิรสานามามิโลกัสสนาตันจวินายกันจตันเตกัสสะเตชยสิทธิหนตุสาพันตรายาจวินาสเมตุนมการะสิทธิคาถาธัมโมทัสสะโยวิยตาสัจตุนาเสสิโลกัสสวิสุทธิมาคังนิยานิโกธัมมะทาราสัทธาเรสัตตาวะโหสันติกโลสุจินโนธัมมังวรันตังสิรสานามามิโมหะปะทาลังอุปสันตถาหังต ตันเตกัสสะเตจยเสติหอนตุสัพพันตรายาจาวินาสเมตุสัพธรรมเสนาสุขตานุโคโยโลกัสสะปะปุปะกิเลสเทตาสันโตสยังสันตินิโยจะโคจะสวาคาตธรรมังวิชิตังกโรติตังขังวรันตังศิลสานามานิพุทธานุพุทธังสมศิลติติงตันเตทัสสะเตชยเสเทหอนตุสาพันตรายาจาวินาสเมนตุสัมพุทเทอัตถเวสันจะตวาทสันจะสหัสสะเกปัญจะสัตสหัสสานินามามิศิลสาอหังเตสังธรรมันจะสังขันจะอาทะเรนะนามามิหังนามการานุภาเวนะหันตวาสาเพอุปาทเวอเรกาอันตรายาภิวินาสันตุอเสสะโตสัมพุทเทปัญจปัญญาสันจะจตุเวสติสหัสสะเกทัสสะสัตสหัสสานินามามิศิลสาอหังเตสังธรรมันจะสังขันจะอาทะเรนะนามามิหังนามการานุภาเวนะหันตวาสาเพอุปัฏฐเวอเนกาหันตลายาภิวินาสันตุอเสสะโตสัมพุทเทนะวุตตรสะเทอัตถสัตตาเนตสหัสสะเกเวสติกตสหัสสานินามามิศิลสาอหังเตสังธรรมันจะสังขันจะอาทะเรนะนามามิหังนามการานุภาเวนะหันตวาสัพเทอุปาทเวอเนกาอันตรายาภิวินาสันตุอาเสสะโตนะโมกัรหัตถกะนะโมอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะมะเหสิโนนะโมอุตตมะธัมมาสัสวะคาตัสเสวะเตนิตานะโมมหาสังฆัสสะติวิสุทธสิลติสิโนนะโมโอมัตยาราคัสสะรัตนันตยาสัสสะทุกังนะโมโอมกาติกาสตราสวะทุตยาสปินะโมการัปปะภาเวนะวิกาจันตุปาตวานะโมการานุภาเวนะสุวัติโหนตุสัพพทานะโมการัสสะเตเชนะวิสิมหิโหมิเตชวามังคละสุตังอาเสวนาจะปาลานังบันติตานันจะเสวนาปูชาจะปูชนียานังเหตัมมังคลมุตตมังปฏิรูปเทสวาโสจะปูเพจะกตปุญญาตาอัตตสัมมาปณิติจะเอตัมมังคลมุตตมังพาหุสัจจันจะเสปัญจวินัยโยจะสุติกิโตสุขาสิตาจยาวาจาเอตัมมังคลมุตตมังมาตาปิตุปาตานังปุตตะตาราสสังฆโหอนาคุลาจะกัมมันตาเอตัมมังคลมุตตมังทานันจะกัมมจริยาจะยาตกานันจะ สังฆโหอนวัตตานิกัมมานิเอตัมมังคารโมตตมังหารติวิรติปาปามาจปานาจะสัญญโมอัปปมาโทจะธรรมเมสุเอตัมมังคารโมตตมังคารโวจะนิวาโตจะสันตุติจะกตัญญูตากาเลนะธรรมัสสวนังเอตัมมังคารโมตตมังขันติจะโสวะจัสตาสมนานันจะทัสสนังกาเลนะธรรมัสสากาจาเอตัมมังคารโมตตมังตะโพจะพรหมจริยันจะอริยสัจจานาทัสสนังเนปานาสัจจิกิริยาจะเอตัมมังคารมุตตมังพุทธัสสะโลกธรรมเมหิจิตตังยัสสนกรรมปฏิอโศกังวิลจังเขมังเอตัมมังคารมุตตมังเอตาติสานิกัตวานาสาภาตมปราจิตาสาภาตโสทิงคาสันติตันเตตังมังคารมุตตมันติรัตนสุตตังยังเกณฑ์เสเวตังอิทวาหุรังวาสาเกสุวายังรัตนังปเนตังมโนสมังอาติตตาคเตนะอิธัมปิพุทเทรัตนังปเนตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตถิโหนตุกยังวิราคังอมตังปเนตังยะสัสสะคาสักยมุนีสมาหิโตนะเตนะธรรมเมนะสมาธิกินจิธรรมปิธรรมเมรัตนังปณิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตถิโหนตุยัมโพตเสโทปริวันนะเยสุจินตมังอิมานันตริกัญญมาหุสมาตินาเตนะสัมโมนะเวสติธรรมปิธรรมเมรัตนังปณิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตถิโหนตุเยปุคลาอาตัสตังปัสสัตตาจัตตาริเอตานิยุคานิโหนติเตทาคินายาสุขตาสัสสาวกาเอเตสุตินนานิมหาภลานิธรรมติสังเกรัตนังปณิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตถิโหนตุเยสุปโยตามนัสสาทานเนนะเนกังนิโนโคตมัสสาสนังหิเตปาเตปาตาอมตังหิคายหาลาทานิหาเนมโพเตงโพชมานาเอธัมปิสังเครัตนังปณิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตถิโหนตุขีนังปุรานังอวังนาติสัมภวังวิราตเจตายติเกภวัสมิงเตขีนาปิจาเวโลนิทันธานิพันติทิรายทายามปฏิโพอิธัมปิสังเครัตนังปณิตังเอเตนะสัจเจนะสุวัตถิโหนตุขันธปริตตคาถาอัปปมาโนพุทโธอัปปมาโนธัมโมอัปปมาโนสังโฆปมาณวันตานิสิริงตปานิอหิเวติกาสัตปะเทอุณนานาภิสรภูมุสิกากตาเมรักขากตาเมปริตาปฏิกามันตุพุทธานิโสหังนะโมภะคะวะโตนะโมสัตตานังสัมมาสัมพุทธานัง กะระนิยะเมตตสุตังเมตันเตสะภะโลกาสมิงมานะสัมภาวะเยหะปริมาณังโหตังอโทจติริยันจาสัมภาทังอเวรังหัสสะปะทังเมตันจรังนิสินโนวาสยาโนวายาวตาสวิกตมิโตเอตังสติงอติทายาพระมเมตังวิหารังอิธรรมาอุเทตินจาโนคัมมะศิลวะทัสสะเนนะสัมปันโนกาเมสุวินัยเกทังนาหิชาตุคาปัสสายังปุณเรตินเตอะพยปริตตังยันตุนิมิตังอวมังคลังชโยจามนาโพสกุณาสสัทโธปาปะคะโหโตสุปินังอาการตังพุทธานุภาเวนะวินาสเมนตุยันตุนนิมิตังอวมังคลังชโยจามนาโพสกุณาสสัทโธปาปะคะโหโตสุปินังอาการตังธัมมานุภาเวนะวินาสเมนตุยันตุนนิมิตังอวมังคลังชโยจามนาโพสกุณาสสัทโธปาปะคะโหโตสุปินังอาการตังสังฆานุภาเวนะวินาสเมนตุเทวตาอุยโยชนะคาถาโลกาปัตตาจเนตุขาพยาปัตตาจเนพยาโสกาปัตตาจเนโสกาหนตุสัพเพปิปานิโนเอตาวตาจะอัมเหหิสัมปะทังปุญญสัมปะทังสัพเพเทวานุโมทันตุสัพพสัมปติสิทธิยาทานังททันตุสัทธายสิลังราคันตุสัพพทาภาวนาภิรตาหนตุคาคันตุเทวตาคาทานสัพเพพุทธาภลาปัตตาปัจเจกานันจะยังพลังอรหันตานันจะเตเชนราคังพันธามิสัพพะโสขยะปริตตังมหาการุณิโกนาโทหิตายาสาปปานินางปุเรตวาปารมิสัพพะปะโตสัมโพธิโมตตมังเอเดนะสัจวะเทนะโหนตุเตชยมังกลังชยันโตโพธิยามูเลสักยานังนันทิวัตโนเฮวังตวังวิจโยโหวิจยาสุจยมังคะเลหปราจิตาปัลลังเกสีเสปตาวิโปคะเลอภิเสเกตาปะโพตานังอากาปะโตปะโมทติสุนัขขาตังสุมังคลังสุปภาตังสุโหติตังสุขโนสุโมโหตจะสุเยตังพระมจาริสุปทากินังกายกรรมังวาจากรรมังปทาคินังปทาคินังมโนกรรมังปณิเตปทาคินาปทาคินานิกัตวานาลปันทาเทปทาคิเนโสอัตตลัตโหสุขิโตวิรุณโหโพธัสสะสเนหะโรโคสุขิโตโหหิตาสะเพหิยาติปิสาอัตตลัตถาสุขิตาวิรุณหาโพธัสสะสเนหะโรคาสุขิตาโหหิตาสะเพหิยาติปิเตอัตตลัตถาสุขิตาวิรุณหาโพธัสสะสเนอโรคาสุขิตาโหทัสสะสัพเพหิยาติปิ ถาชินะบัญชรสูตรทิรินารารากาทินาสารากตาพุทธาเจตวามารังสวานังจตุสัจจะสัพพังระสังเยติเวสุนาราสัพพะตันหังกาลาทโยพุทธาหาชเวสตินายกาสาเพปฏิติโตไมหังมาตะเกเตมนุสราสิเสปฏิติโตไมหังพุทโธธัมโมทวิโลจเนสังโฆปฏิติโตไมหังอุเรตาปกุณากโรหะทะเยเมอนุโรธจะสาริปุตโตจะทากิเนโกนทันโยติติภาคัสมิงโมคันลาโนจะวามะเกทากิเนสวเนไมหังอาสุงอานันทราหุลากัสสะโปจะมหานาโมอุปาสุงวามโสตะเกสันเตปิติภาคัสมิงสุริโยวาปะพังกโรนิสินโนสิริสัมปันโนโสภิโตมุนิพงคโลกุมารกัสสะโปเทโรมเหสีจิรวาทโกโสมัยหังวาทเนนิจังปฏิทาสิกุณากโรปุณโนอังคุลิมาโลจะอุปาลีนันทสิวลีเทลาปัญจหิเมตาตานลาเตติลกามมาเสสาสิติมหาเถราจิตวันโตชิโนรสาจวันตาสีละเตเจนะอังคมังเคสุสันติตารัตนังปุเรโตอาสิทาคิเลเมตสุตตังคัจฉคังปัจจโตอาสิวาเมอังคุลิมาลกังคันธโมลปริตันจาตานาติยโสตกังอากาเสชะนังอาสิเสสะปะกาลลังกตังชินานานาวรสังโยตาสัตตปะกาลลังกตามาตาปิตาทิสัญชาตาปะหิรัญชาตุปัสสวะอเสสะวิญญาณยันตุอนันตจินเตทัสสาวาสโตเมสเกเตนะสัทธาสัมพุทธปัญชเรตินะปัญจรมัตเจหิวิหารันตังมเหตเลสัทธาปาเลนตุมังสัพเพเตมหาปุริสาสภาอิเจวมันโตสุโคโตสุราโคสินานุภาเวนะจิตุปัสสวะธัมมานุภาเวนะจิตาริสังโฆสังฆานุภาเวนะจิตันตรายโยสัทธัมมานุภาวะปาลิโตจารามิเอนะปัญจเรติติภวันตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพะโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนะสัพพะโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุอาเวนะสัทธาโสติภาวันตุเตหันสมยังสารพันเยนะพุทธมังคละคาทายโยพนามะเส